Hey everyone, it's Thursday. That means it's time for a new episode of the Geek Chat on the Experience. We've got quite the show for you and our free giveaway as well, so stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome to the Geek Chat on the Experience. I am Beardy Rich.
I am Little Black Beardy Daz.
And we are here to tell you all about some new comic books from this week. We got the Battle of the Batman, Immortal Thor, A Witch, and more. You like that? Like that?
Yeah. Wow, you actually spent time in the bathroom today coming up with that, huh?
Nah, just off the top of my head.
They're just like,
so, hey, Steve. Hey, Easy Reader. Welcome in.
Hey, we're not slackers. We just deserve time off like anybody.
Yeah. Hey, Paul.
Ew.
So, we have our giveaway today. And it's funny because Des was actually going to review this book. So, as everyone knows, I'm not a huge Superman fan when it comes to the comics. So I didn't order this. And sadly, none of our subscribers ordered this either.
Wow.
And DC did not give the retailers a PDF. So I was like, I can't read it, but you can. And he was like, nah, okay, nah.
Yeah, no, I bought it and I'm going to read it. You know, I am a Superman stan. That's just like I am. So I will be reading it. But when I was perusing and able to get our giveaway, I saw this cover. And I know the last time we were together, all of us, I was talking about not being able to get DC variants very often, and I just saw this variant, and I was just like, "Wow, this is very striking." And I was, it's Oliver.
So it's Ariel Olivetti.
Ariel
Olivetti. It's the Superman, the Book of L #1, cover E, the 1 in 25. And it could be yours if you put in hashtag Geek Chat.
Yep.
In the, what do you call it?
The doop.
Yeah, that. Hey, DJ, welcome
in the comments. So
in the comments.
But yeah, I plan on reading it. As I said, I am a Superman stan, so I will be reading it. And then again, I saw this cover and I was just like, wow. And
it is a gorgeous cover.
Yeah, and I just had to pick it up. I don't know. It's just it has a very menacing like look, but it reminds me of like if Christopher Reeves, I'm kind of getting. I know it's not Christopher Reeves, like but I don't know. It's just a very classically drawn Superman.
It's completely not his style either. I love it, D. No. It isn't his style at all. I love it. Hey, Canadian survivalist.
That's why I was just like, wow. So as always, put hashtag Geek Chat in the doobly-doo down, and which is the comment section, that's what we call it. And you can take this home. Also, do note that any book that is not claimed or given away goes to Rich. And Rich doesn't want this, so I'll have to take it. So,
yeah. Did Superman take the orange ring from Larfleeze? Who did get the orange ring back in the day? Who?
It was the Freeze. There was only one. There's only one.
No.
One ever orange ring. Remember? That's the whole thing. Greed. Only one person in the whole universe has an orange ring because of greed. And
I forgot about that.
And it's and what's weird is depending on who you ask, it is the most powerful because it is only one person. But the thing about it is, the one bad thing about being greedy is you just use it for defense for your stuff that you have. So you're never gonna use its full power, or only in defense of what you want. So of what you're greedy for. So I thought it was very interesting. So
I'm greedy for comic books.
Yes, you are. But before we talk about comics, I want to talk about Peacemaker. So Paul and I, my hubby, we have since the beginning of time, since the pandemic, we have been watching old TV shows in its entirety, because if streaming has done one thing, it has allowed me to get in touch with my early 2000s, late 90s TV shows, because in the late 90s, I was in my late teens, early 20s. So I, was out in the field living my life, woohoo. So I wasn't watching any TV. Like, I was out there doing my thing. And so I've been able to, watch these shows starting with the pandemic. And so we've just been going through and it's just continued on. So, and we just finished Roseanne and the Connors, the original Roseanne series. And then we finished the Connors. And so I wanted to change it to I want to do something a little bit different, basically. And so we started watching Buffy. I never watched Buffy. I watched the movie, which I found out later that Josh Whedon has disowned, and then he wrote a comic, Buffy the Origin, which is supposed to be his script in a comic book form. So yeah, I started watching it, and we just finished the first season, and everyone that I told that I'm watching Buffy was just like, it's good, just get past the first season, it's good, don't stop, it gets so much better. And maybe it's my age or like who I am as a person, but I actually like that first season. I have really been enjoying Buffy. Like it's just been a lot of fun. Wow. I was not 23 in 1999.
So funny thing about Buffy, I also during that time
you're close.
Was also not watching TV because I had a very active life. I worked, I had friends, I never was home, and if I was home, I was hosting a party. So I didn't watch any TV, and I had no clue the world of Buffy until I met Coog, and we would be watching Buffy, and then so we'd watch like an old episode to get caught up, and then a new episode, and then when Angel started, we watched, because you really should watch Angel and Buffy concurrently.
That's what they told me.
Like you should figure out when the episode is, and then just watch them. So that's how I got to know Buffy, is also afterwards.
What
were you going to say, Mr. Kyle?
I'm just going to need to see your geek resumes, because I had an active social life. I had friends. I had a party. You're not geeks.
I also had boxes and boxes and boxes of comic books, which my dad can attest to. Every time I moved, he would have to help me. And at one point, sometime in the 90s, he was like,
a joke though.
I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
I was in the 90s where didn't have friends, didn't have social lives, lived in basements, but it's not true.
No, it wasn't. No.
When I was a kid, maybe, but when
our
I was
friends, we just met at the comic book shop.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like I definitely had and still have friends at the comic book shop. The one that I go here locally, like those guys are, nerds, and I love them. So, but yeah. So
hey, Jabroni, Kenneth, Eddie.
So started watching Buffy, and we are on, I think it's episode 3 of season 2. Spikes.
What does this have to do with the Peacemaker?
Spike's getting because basically what happened was I started watching Buffy, and then everything started talking about what's going on with Peacemaker and how Peacemaker, they changed a lot of, or James Gunn changed a lot of the stuff that was in the original series. I said the original, but the first season. They changed a lot of that for the second and going further in order to make it in continuity. And so what I did is I didn't watch the Suicide Squad. I don't know why we didn't see it together. I don't know what was happening. But I didn't see it.
Wasn't it the pandemic?
No.
We watched it streaming. I don't remember it being in theaters.
Yeah, it was in theaters. So then I watched that, and that's when I really realized that James Gunn has an eye fetish, and he has a fetish for things going in and out of your mouth and onto your face. It's weird.
Okay, he has I need to say, I'm going to share it in the Geek Chat Facebook page. You need to watch the honest trailer for Superman, because they mention the eyeballs. They talk about it.
That's where I got it from. When they talked about it, I was like, oh my God. That is so true. James Gunn loves eyeballs, and he loves things going in and out of people's mouths. And you could think, I'm not surprised, seeing as he has like an illustrious trauma background, because that's where he started, Lloyd Kaufman's Trauma. So I can imagine he's into that gross out stuff. Well, anyway, so we started watching The Peacemaker, and so we binged the whole first season. So we watched Suicide Squad. we finished the first season of Peacemaker, and so we started doing the second season of Peacemaker, and I got to tell you, whatever James Gunn is building in the DCU, he really needs to be very clear what is family friendly and what is not family friendly. Because like those first 2 episodes of the Peacemaker they are like miles away from Superman. So I get that James Gunn is making a continuity and he's making this work, and other things exist in a continuity or that you're making, but it was weird. It was almost like it was Earth 2 and not like, I understand they're all in the same universe and everything is together, but it just seemed like Peacemaker and I'm trying to how I'm trying to wrap my head around it is like, you have Marvel and then you have Marvel Max, or you have like DC and you have like the black label DC. So I'm trying to think like, okay, this is a DC Max title, or to combine the two. And I just wasn't like, and I watched the first one and it did have they did show boobs and stuff like that, but man, that first episode I was like, huh. And yeah, and then having it be another kind of like interdimensional, or multi-dimensional thing. I get it, why he was doing that and wanting to grow that aspect of it for his character. I just like, I think there's just a few people. You can definitely let us know in the comments if you're tired of kind of like multiversal sort of stories. Like I'm kind of burnt on that now, and so I don't know. I don't know if this season is going to hold up like the last season did. But again, the 3rd episode came out today, so who knows? What are your thoughts, Rich? Later.
So I want to say to Easy Reader, yes, they were all long boxes, dozens of long boxes. Easy Reader says, if you're squeamish about eyes, don't watch Alien Earth.
I haven't watched it yet. I heard it's fantastic. I probably will end up watching it because I love the franchise, both franchises. So I probably will. By both franchises, I mean Blade Runner and Aliens. So I probably will end up watching it. But yeah, I will. We'll see.
And then TJ says it's all family friendly. Just depends on your family. That's very true.
That is very true.
And then it gives them outs to everything they do. Yeah, that's a good point. By having a multiverse, you can change the character up enough. You know what? My biggest thing is I was telling some people, talking with some friends on Sunday who haven't started the 2nd season yet. And I learned that the woman that plays Hellcourt is James Gunn's wife.
Yeah, it's his wife.
And I think that he secretly has something and he really wants to beat her up because holy jeepers, she takes a beating in these episodes.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, her character in the second one is just kind of crazy, and I get and they explained it. Waller blackballed her, and Economos is the only one that is the only one that's connecting everyone to Argus, and Rick Flag Sr. has like a mat on to kill him, and so I don't know. Like, I really believe that. Like, I'm trying to think, like, is this this Kevin Feige thing where people say, you don't need to watch this in order to see what's going on in the major universe, but it seems like there's some stuff happening in this one that it's going to affect the future.
Right.
So who knows?
Well, yeah.
So that was a long segue. That was a long way to talk about because I just had missed y'all. I hadn't seen you in a while, and I wanted to see what we were doing. So, but
I'm enjoying it. It's fun, it's fun.
Yeah.
So I looked it up. The Suicide Squad was in the States August 6th, but we moved up a day to August 5th. But it was also made available on HBO Max for a 1-month premiere. So I knew I saw it, but it was on Max. I did not go to the theater to see this one.
Yeah. Oh, and did you? So supposedly everything that was also real thing. so for Peacemaker, everything that was mentioned in the recap is now canon from the first
Yes.
season.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's kind of good to know. So the alien invasion did happen. They
Did you notice the change?
yeah, they switched it out from the Justice League to the Justice Gang.
Yeah.
They switched it out from the people coming in instead of it being Jason Momoa and Flash. So yeah, but it's cool. But yes, you're correct.
Cool.
You're 100% correct. Canadian survivalist. It gives them an out for anything. And James Gunn, I was watching one of those like before preview things, and he was like, this guy Peacemaker is the only guy that has killed his brother, his dad, and himself. So I thought that was kind of funny. So,
Hey, show enough.
hey, sure enough, welcome back. So I know you guys are eager for us to talk about comics, and I want to talk about this comic because I didn't realize it was the weirdest thing. But Rich said, "Hey, I want to do this one," and I was like, okay." And it was Sabrina, but not the new Sabrina, the old Sabrina, the Archie Sabrina. Please tell me why you wanted to read this. I don't
So-
understand why you wanted to read this. It was weird.
I actually love reading all of the Sabrina stuff. I collect all of them. I also really like Archie stuff. I always
Yeah.
have. So I got the vintage cover, which was in an old book. Normally there's a theme to these. This one
Normally.
was supposed to be Magic Unleashed, but it really made no sense. There was no
it
connecting theme
No.
or anything.
Yeah, they were just standalone stories, and by far the first one was the best one. Like the first
Well,
one,
that was the new one.
yeah, the first
That's
one,
the newest of them.
yeah, the first one I really enjoyed, and I liked the art style. I thought, this Gwen Stacy cosplay that Sabrina's doing is fantastic.
That what?
The Gwen Stacy cosplay, because I always thought this version of Sabrina looked like Gwen Stacy.
Oh, I actually like this. I think okay, so there's a bunch of writers. It's many different stories in this,
Yeah.
and penciled by Moore. The main cover that you all see is by Dan Parent, who we met at a Comic-Con at San Diego Comic-Con a couple years ago. Really nice guy.
Mhm.
So you liked Magic Unleashed, which was the first one.
Why did I like it?
Why?
You know why I liked it, right?
Why?
Come on, all the different versions of Sabrina coming in and helping out.
A
Like,
multiverse.
see, I tell you, like I am so tired of it, but I love seeing multiversal versions of characters. I don't know what it is, but I just love seeing them. Don't really want to read stories about them, but I love seeing them.
So what's funny, the second story was from no, that was not. The first older one, Boxing Match. That was from 1975.
Really? I didn't realize they were reprinting the older stuff. I
Yep.
honestly thought that they were all new stuff, and people were kind of like aping that style, and I was like, oh, this is really kind of cool. All right, it makes sense now.
Sand, Sea, and Spray was 1977, and then the last story, What a Story, which was, I think, the cutest out of all of them. Where she's babysitting the girl and she gets the hiccups, but they call them the witch ups, and then the head witch comes. That was from 2022, I think. So I think it's interesting that these. I also love the digests. I collected the digest for a good maybe couple of years, because they do collect the older stories, and I really like reading the older stuff. The difference in all the stories, though, some really had nothing to do with anything. Like, it went nowhere. The story was just kind of meh. I think the one where Jack Frost turns her blue, that really had nothing to do with anything. Like, there was no story there.
Well, no, it was like a day in the life. It was like those old Bazooka Joe comics and those old Archie comics. They were presented with the problem, and it was a very mundane problem, and then they would, some silly way to fix it, and that was it. Like that's
what it was.
Slice of life, I guess, with a little bit of magic.
What do you think about the age for this? So it's a $5 book because, it is now. That's just the price. Do you think that some of the stories were age appropriate, meaning not like adult stuff, but some of the words were big, and I always liked that as a kid because we had dictionaries. We didn't just go to Google and look it up. Like you had to actually look up the words.
I thought it was fine. I thought this was very age appropriate. I think that for age appropriate, I mean, I think children of all ages could read this and understand, and probably have a little bit of fun, a lot of fun with it. Actually, like I used to know a guy, who's older, and he grew up with Archies, and he would collect the digest, and he would still read them. She's probably still reading them to this day. So there's people who grew up with these characters and just it still resonates with them. And so I can see a parent giving this to their child and saying like, hey, this is something that I read as a kid, here you go. And I think what's really fun about it is it's still under Archie. It's still an Archie property. And I think that's the big difference between the Disney Marvel stuff versus the Sabrina versus the Archie stuff. Is because I don't think Archie's a huge company, and so I think they can get away with a little bit more than say your Marvel Disney kind of stuff. So I love Salem. I've always loved Salem. So and
hey,
I think
Space Case Collectibles.
Yeah, howdy. How is it? But yeah, I thought these were great. I haven't read a Sabrina in a very long time.
Oh, I'm glad I made you read it.
Yeah, and the thing about it was it wasn't really bad. It wasn't bad. I sat there and I read it. I chuckled at a couple of them, and and I kept it pushing. So, and I think this is the type of comic that should do that. It's not crazy world saving or anything,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think the Archie comics ever were like that, Speaking of Archie comics, before we go to break, what are you thinking about all of the interesting and some would say silly things that they're doing with Archie? Like we had the Archie Judgment Day where where it was Archie horror, and then we had Mr. Tomorrow, Archie Tomorrow or something, where he was a superhero, and it's like they were trying all these different Archie variations, and I think some of them worked and some of them, well, didn't. I mean, I bought the superhero one, and I mean it read like your box standard superhero stuff, so that's why I was kind of like, and then Jabroni Chief and I read Archie Judgment Day, and that was just bad. So I don't know.
All right. So, hey, Barlord. Hey, Unknown. We have one more book before we go to break, though. We're going to do.
Then what was
Stitch.
your thoughts? What was your thoughts about the new weird, things that they're doing with Archie to try to keep it?
They keep it relevant. They keep it. I mean, he met Clerks. He's met Batman. Like, he's met so many people. He met the Punisher. You know what? Archie's always been a little crazy, and I enjoy that. My favorite Archie was the zombie one. I thought when that started, that was
pretty good.
That was the best. And then, the writer of it got a big head and went on to movies and film where you make more money than writing a comic book. So unfortunately, the property just ended, and that was the worst thing about it.
Barlord, we are not holding bats for last. It'll be up shortly, so please stay tuned. So this is another book that Rich wanted us to read, and it was Stitch. Because
hey, Garflung.
Because if you haven't met him in person, he literally is Stitch. He has the reason he sits like that is because he has two other arms underneath his shirt. So that's how he passes. And
I've always loved Stitch. I love Stitch. I have Stitch stuff. Like, it's just stuff. I love Stitch. So I was excited this is coming out. So it's from Dynamite Comics. It is Connor Ratliff and James James 3 did the writing. Greta Kella did the art. Fabio Amelia did the lettering. And that main cover was by Edwin Galmon. I had to get, of course, the Jay Lee cover because it's gorgeous, This was an interesting book. It was fun, but as where Sabrina, I could give my neighbor who just is turning 8. I think he might actually really like this more. I liked it. It was a self-contained story, which is perfect, which we're going to talk about when we get to Batman. And I heard the characters' voices in my head. And funny thing, the newest movie, Lilo and Stitch, just dropped on Disney yesterday.
Did you see it?
So we're gonna watch it. I've heard some kind of iffy things about it.
I've heard mixed too.
So I am reserving my judgment until we watch it. We'll probably watch it tomorrow night. We usually watch movies on Friday night. But this story is about Mad Jumba creating a hair gel that controls people, kind of.
They see it and they admire you. They want to be next to you. They want to know you. I can understand why Rich wanted to read it now because he's always coveted hair. So
yes, I have so much I love. So, I don't know if you are if you're a fan of Lilo and Stitch, just pick this up. Just pick it up. It is fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Everyone is in it. It was a lot of fun. I'm really glad. It was another property that Dynamite got and knocked it out of the park. I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. Out of all the like Disney properties out there, I can't say that I'm super close to Lilo and Stitch. I did like the movie when I saw it, and I have read some of the comics. We have read a comic before that had Lilo and Stitch in it, and I understand why Stitch has the appeal because he's that everyone has an inner imp in them, and him learning how to control that I think it's just very endearing and heartwarming. Plus, I think his design is one of the best designs out there. If you look at his silhouette, you can definitely tell it's him because of his ears, because of his forearms. So yeah, I actually liked it too. I do think that the some of the artwork was soft in certain areas. And by soft, I mean it it didn't have that. I know it was for kids, and so like the colors and some of it was very was fluid, and I think the reason why they did that was because they wanted to keep it like the animation or kind of marry it to the animation that people remember in their mind, and that's fine. And don't get me wrong, I did enjoy it, but I do think that it was it served its purpose, but I wasn't really a huge fan of it. I think that would be the one thing. But I thought the writing was spot on. It was Stitch getting into trouble and having to find a way to get out of it. And I really thought the way that they ended the story, because it's a one and done. So I mean, there's another issue coming out in number 2, but it's a different sort of day in the life of Stitch. So it is resolved at the end of the story, and I thought the way that they resolved it was very cute and very fun. So
I do want to mention the lettering.
Okay.
The lettering threw me for a loop on that first page because it isn't a traditional lettering style for a comic book.
No,
I actually really, really liked it. I did. So Barlord says, I wouldn't trust the Marvel stable with this stuff right now, so I don't blame them for licensing it out.
Well, some of the Marvel stuff has been, but some of it has been really good. Like we talked about in our last episode, we had the Predators kill the Marvel Universe, and that's been pretty good. So I would say the Predator and the Alien stuff has been really good. Granted, that's not quote unquote Disney. But I think
the Godzilla stuff is
and
also
the Godzilla stuff was great. But again, I think that's much more adult, and I think that's why I do think for whatever reason Marvel just cannot get their youth or kids books right anymore. Remember Marvel Star, the Star line of comics?
I loved them.
Yeah, those are really good, and it just seems like that those like that's so far in the past now that Marvel doesn't understand or doesn't know how
I don't think they want. I
do
don't
that.
think they care. I don't think that's part of their
You
marketing.
think they don't care? Oh, you think they care?
I honestly don't. I think Barlow was right. They like, you know what? You can license it out. You pay me.
Then they
You
should.
do what you want. But you know,
Then they should license out those Disney characters then, because Dynamite, Boom, all these other places could really use, number one, they could really use the cash, and number two, if they're able to do it better, then they should let them. So.
Yeah.
But it is time for us to go to our first commercial break. And when we come back, we will talk about some Batmans. So we'll be right back.
Sure, comic books are beautiful, but underneath, there's something more authentic and exciting. The original art. See the pencils, the lines, the shading, as if you were there in the studio watching the artist work. Getting a peek at comics' backstage is easy with the original art experience.
All right, Friday night, guys. Thank you for being here. To be doing anything, the fact that you're here means the world to me.
Nick's pieces are always value priced with your budget in mind, for the beginning collector to the veteran.
And this is gorgeous. You got Aquaman and Mira.
Join the original art experience with Nick and our friendly crew of regulars, even if it's just to enjoy the art. Fridays at 7. It's all part of the experience. FOC, a comic industry term for the final day a new comic can be ordered by a local comic shop. So, what does that mean to you? Well, it's your last chance to order a new comic book from your local comic shop. Order up! The FOC show will go over every book that's about to be cut off every Friday afternoon.
I'm going to highlight some of the stuff that I think is really worth paying attention to,
so that you can put in an order at your LCS for as many copies or as many variant covers as you want.
Sometimes the store needs to know to up their orders.
Never miss out on a popular comic again. Order up, part of the experience.
Download our app on Google Play and the App Store. It's so simple, even my mommy can use it. We know you probably get a lot of emails.
Hi, welcome back. You are watching the Geek Chat. We are having some weird little bumps today. Sorry, everyone. So we're skipping the next book, sadly. So you're watching the Geek Chat, by the way, on the experience. This was just threw me off a little. And we have a giveaway coming up at the end of the show. So hashtag Geek Chat to get this 1 in 25. Okay. Ariel Olivetti. I don't remember the name of the book. Something about Superman.
The big Superman House of L. Y'all are just stabbing me in the heart right now. Just I feel like a vampire in your Buffy. Just like
It's a cute cover. I like it. Don't get me wrong. But hashtag Geek Chat. It could be yours. Barlow, the blind bags. I still have them. I haven't opened them yet. I'm waiting. I don't know what I'm waiting for, but we're waiting.
I was gonna open them. I was gonna buy one, but I was like, nah. I like me. So
we're totally screwing up Kyle's order.
Yeah, we are. I'm sorry, Kyle. I mean, we can keep it the way you want it. I just figured you'd want to talk about these two. So, you know.
All right.
What?
So
Kyle's got it. Look at him.
All right. You got 2 Jim Lees. That is cool.
What was that, Kyle?
Kyle's got it, but he's grumpy about it.
I'm sorry.
All right, everyone. It is time for Batman #1, Matt Fraction, Jorge Jimenez, Tomu Mori, and someone else. I have no clue where. Here it is. Tomu Mori did the coloring, and Clayton Cowles did the lettering. Okay, there was a whole bunch of variant covers and then blind bags where you can get even more. And yes, so this is a brand new direction, brand new costume, brand new everything.
Is it a brand new costume?
It is.
He brought back
Brand
the
new
blue
costume.
he brought back the blue and the gray. Which I thought
But
was
he
cute.
I always liked that costume.
Yeah, I did
I will
too.
be honest. I've always been a fan of the blue and the gray. Super Friends all the way. The chest bat is really odd in the book sometimes. I don't quite know if I like it yet.
Which one was? I'm sorry.
The bat symbol on his chest.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of it.
Sorry, when you were talking, I was reading the comments because like Barlow is like does not like the trade dress, and I guess producer Kyle does. So I was like, I wasn't sure if that was you were talking about. What are your thoughts about the trade dress?
Yeah. Yeah. But I will say I love the quarter box. I do love the fact that there is a full figure in there. What's up, Kyle?
In a world where your other best Batman is absolute Batman, this trade dress is full on art.
Yeah, okay, from the trade dress, from the outfit, from the story itself, I'm not so sure, sir.
Really?
I'm not so sure.
What was it about it?
There was, maybe it was because of the way it started. So, mind you, I have not read a Batman book in a while. So, there was a lot of changes that happened that gave no explanation. So, I wasn't sure what I was reading at first. And by what I wasn't sure was Jim Gordon is no longer commissioner. Vandal Savage is now the police commissioner. Okay, whatever.
Yes.
And I think all that happened in Zdarsky's run. So I'm starting like at -1 coming into this book. Alfred's dead. I knew that. You know, now he's the Doctor from Voyager now, so that's interesting, I guess. And now there is a war on the Bat family. And Killer Croc is being rehabilitated. There was just a lot of stuff going on, and Fraction did not take the time to ease the reader in, which sometimes I think is good, because you kind of get the ball, you get the ball, and you just dribble down the lane. You know, you go for it. You know, and you're either along for the ride or you get off. And I don't know. You know, I think this is a strong start, but I don't know if it was the right start. The artwork, fantastic, as usual. I've always been a huge Jorge Jimenez fan. I thought the art was just fantastic. It looked great. It felt great. Yeah.
So I'm going to have to agree with you. I have not been reading Batman. I opened this up and I made it through the first couple of pages and I was like, what? And then you're reading it and you get more, what? I felt like I was dropped into a world I've never been in. And I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, because I read enough DC now to know what's going on in the world, but I guess I really didn't know so much about Batman's world had been changing. Which is funny because I read one Superman title, but I feel like I still know what's going on in the Superman books.
Exactly. I had no idea what's going on, and this seems so detached from everything else that's going on.
It did. It felt like I was on Earth like 73.
Yeah.
And so yes, the Alfred ghost confused me, really. I was like, so he's not dead? And then you realize it's in his head. But when
No, it's not. Alfred is a projection, right? He's not dead.
he's an AI, I guess.
Yes, he's like Tony, right?
Yeah.
Like when Tony was dead and she showed up to Riri as an AI, I
Yeah.
thought that's who he is. Now, because seriously, if he's a freaking ghost and a manifestation in Batman's head, I don't know. I don't know. And yes, Kyle, I missed Gotham becoming a rainforest and being gloomy for 3 years. Yes, I missed that. However, the next comic book convention that I go to, I will be looking for a collected edition of Zdarsky's run. That way I can read it. I think that's the best way to do it because, like you, Bar Lord, I had to bail on that Zdarsky run as well. I was like, you know what? I'm good. Peace out. Because I couldn't sit through Daredevil 2.0. I just couldn't. So I said I'll read it in trade and move on from there. So
wow. I do like Robin's new costume. I thought that was fun.
I did
Killer Croc regression into a childlike state, but still killing people. And then
he didn't kill anybody. The
teeth. Oh yeah, he ate all the animals at the zoo.
Yes, he didn't kill anybody. He just ate the animals.
That's true. And I thought it was really cool that Fraction chose to have Batman take his cowl off, sit down, and talk it through with Killer Croc instead of the fists.
Yeah,
so
Killer Croc's like, I know who you are. He's like, who's Bruce Wayne? Like, I don't know. So yeah, I thought I will have to say the interaction between Killer Croc and Batman was really cool. And so that's why I'm thinking that he's thinking of a much more grounded story because of how Killer Croc was like, it sets up a precedent that, okay, even your criminals are starting to do therapy and get better. What's up with Batman? Because that's always been the joke is like Batman is just as crazy as his criminals. So like what is Fraction going to do? And hopefully, as folks are saying, in the comments that it's supposed to be number 2 that really kind of locks you in. So we'll see. I'm here to read number 2. I'll see what's going on. And yes, I'll
definitely read the number 2 because I'm interested in the. So it's weird that Vandal Savage is the commissioner, and there's like you said, there's a war on the bats, and that was why at the end Robin was like, "Hey, do you have any? Are you on the ins with anybody now?" In the so it'll be interesting. And as Barlord, I don't know if they're going to give Croc. I don't want a redemption so much. I don't know what I would want, but
not a redemption.
Yeah, I kind of like Crazy Killer. I like the Croc that's in Absolute. Like I love the Absolute book. I really do. So that for me is the Batman book. And I will pick this up.
Yeah. So Kyle has a problem. See, look at Kyle over here, just stating how cool he is. Yes, we get it. You're an alpha nerd. Stop it.
I've friend Matt for a long time. So when he announced this at Comics Pro, he let me read the scripts for 2 and 3.
Oh wow, cool.
Well, I hope it comes to fruition and it's really fun, but I'm here for it.
Barlord, I wouldn't call you out for being wrong if you weren't, is the verdict.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Well,
all right.
Here we go. Now on to the next version of Batman that we're getting that seems to be in a future far, far away. And he's a Power Ranger? What? Immortal Legend Batman. Terrible title. But hey, he's a Power Ranger now. Let's go.
Yeah. So, okay, I just want to start this off by saying,
your reaction. I love it.
If you look at the cover of this and the name Immortal Legend Batman, I'm thinking it's going to be a manga book, and we're going to get the craziness from a manga book, right? Right?
You would think that.
No, you would think. That's not what you get at all. So Immortal Legend Batman, Chapter 1, Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom were the writers. Erica Durso and Dan Mora were the artists. Igor Monti and Tamara Bonvillain did the coloring, and Becca Carey did the lettering. And the cover A was by Dan Mora, and then there was 2 other covers. I stuck with this cover because, so this is part of their Elseworlds line. And it takes place on a completely different, it's world Avoca. And it was the Wild West with technology.
It's a futuristic Wild West.
Yes. Completely not what Immortal Legend Batman is until you get to the second story, which explains kind of the history of Immortal Legend Batman. And I did not like this book at all.
Okay, now why did you not like it?
I did not like the art. I did not like the story. I did not like anything about this book. I really didn't. Except for the second story. If the second story was the main story and they grew on that, I would have been more interested, because you learn that they're the origins of they're crazy names.
The Immortal Legend Batman, something
So it's
Robin.
the way of the Robin, the way of the Bat, and the way of the Nightwing. And they're all approaching these titles with different directions. I liked this a lot. I liked that second story. It sets up, though it's really weird. If the original Robin was a guy because they use his pronouns, then they say Master Stephanie Brown passed the mantle down to Tim Drake, so Tim is the Robin. And then I thought it was cool that they said Harper Row passed the mantle down to Dick Grayson. And then you learn that Bruce was past this, but at the end of this, we learned that it's actually Thomas Elliot. That whole story I thought was great. I'm interested in that story. The first story we were presented was about Batman searching for Bruce Wayne, who's the sheriff of this town, and Harvey Dent is the mayor.
He was a shapeshifter.
Yeah, and it ended up not being Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he was the two-faced man.
Yeah,
that was and half of him was like a dark version who was like a
you know who I thought it was?
Energy.
Eclipso at first.
Yeah.
At first, the way it was transformed and the way he shot that beam, I thought, is this a take on Eclipso? Not Two-Face. So I just thought the first story was a mess, and the art was not. The art in the second half, I mean, it was Dan Mora. Come on, Dan Mora is a freaking workload or powerhouse. He pencils like 19 books a month, I swear, and none of them lack any kind of quality. So the second story for me, reason to pick this up. First story for me, don't read it.
Kyle, please stop letting them pigeonhole you, sir, or this is your calling. If you are a Power Ranger person and you want to write stories about Power Ranger-esque people, knock it. Go.
I thought he did.
Go have fun. But this one was one of his weakest kind of. This was just. I swear to God, I wrote something like this when I was in high school. Like,
wow.
This really, seriously, it really feels like some stuff that him and his friend were like, seriously, it really feels like he was, no, Kyle, I was talking to you, I was talking to Kyle again, sorry.
I thought you were talking about that, Kyle, too.
No, I was talking to Kyle because Kyle Higgins, because he watches us, right? So, anyway, I'm just saying, please don't let them pigeonhole you, sir. You are more than this, because this really feels like him and his buddy were just sitting there, under the influence or something. He's like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if like Batman was a Power Ranger. Yeah. And they had this way. Wow, yeah, that would be kind of cool. And Radiant Black is doing really well, and he has his, he did stuff with like Teenage Mutant Ninja he did stuff with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He kind of was the architect of a lot of that stuff. So it was like, hey, let's do this with DC. Whoa, and he sold it. Like he sold it to them, and they were like, sure, it can't be that bad.
It was.
I don't know, yo. Like, and I'm a Henshin fan. I love magical girl transformations. I love seeing people, Kamen Rider, the thing and the making the hand signs and all that. I'm there for that. But this is not it, sir. This is not it. Sad thing about it though is I will pick it up and trade at half off, and then I will read it, and then I will see how it is as a complete story. But right now, I'm not fully vested in this right now, and I don't know why anyone would be. It just seems like a very watered down. It's just a watered down version of everything else he's done. And I just don't think that I don't know what the legs are for this. And I know that one of the cool things that you could do with properties like this is you can present a known property in a different way that is intriguing and fun and interesting and to get people in. This is not it. This read it for me, it read poorly. It read like something, like I said, that was watered down from something else that he has already done. I don't think he came with his A game with this, and I
think we're in the minority.
I don't know. No, and I think, and again, Hydra Asylum. If you have not read anything else that he has done, you would not know this. Seriously, that's the one thing. If you didn't read Mighty Morphin Power Rangers because it wasn't your thing, and you didn't read Radiant Black because it wasn't your thing, and you read this, yeah, if I hadn't read all of his other stuff, this might be fantastic to me because it actually feels fresh and new. But unfortunately, it's not. And that's the problem.
What did you think of the second story?
I thought the second story was the same thing. I thought the second story, like it just didn't make sense. It's like he presented us with this sort of makeshift legend that pulls at various different other creation myths from other like transforming heroes type of stuff. It's like he threw a dartboard at like Japanese Totosaku and Henshin heroes and was like, I can add this to this and this, and that's what we got. And I'm just not here for it. I just don't think it was imaginative enough. I don't think it really pushed the boundaries of anything. This is very safe, and that's fine. Like that's the thing. It's fine. It's just not for me because I've read it before and I've read much better versions of it. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jay. I'm going to be on the fence with Fraction, but since Kyle says, I'll stick with it for the now. There's not even an arc, just so everyone knows. Fraction's Batman are all self-contained issues. They're going to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, but he says it's going to relate to a larger narrative. So
wait, what? So you're telling me that each one of those stories that Fraction is going to write is a beginning, middle, end, and it does not connect anywhere? It'll snippets of day in the life of Bruce Wayne.
It'll still have connective tissue, but he says that they're going to be a lot of standalones, like they used to be. Batman in the 70s and 80s weren't these giant story arcs like Court of Owls that took whatever.
Yeah.
TJ says,
okay, you guys are killing me. I love it. You know what, Garth Wong? Yes, I love Elseworld stories too, but this wasn't for me. And TJ, I loved that. Thank you so much, my friend, for gracing us with your lyrics. I love that. Thank you with the poem. I really feel loved. Thank you. And on that note, we're going to take a quick commercial break and come back and see what else we can fit into the last 30 minutes of this show because, wow. So we'll be right back, I think.
Boring old Tuesday.
Kick it! Hey, let's get to it.
Henri Copen scours collections and comic shops to bring you the biggest deals on beautiful
I'm
comics.
very eager to sell these books.
Plus, he smashes those other boring sales shows. Henri's got fire, excitement, personality, key books, FOMO books,
Sexy! Momo books for ya.
a cute dog, weird accents,
69, bro!
a wheel of skid bark.
There's a wheel spin at the end of every show.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll score huge bargains.
That is Hawk 2 magic right there, all right?
Kicking it with Henri, Tuesday nights, part of the experience. Live from New York. What? Oh, sorry. Live from Cleveland? It's Friday night? It's Friday Night Live! With Nancy McCann. And Ricky. And sometimes Carlos. And featuring boxes and boxes of rare comics. Unique collectibles. Lots of smiles and conversations with new friends. Friday Night Live with Comics Unlimited. Friday night from 9 to 11 on The Experience.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You are watching Geek Chat on The Experience. I'm Beardy Rich.
I'm little black heated. Beardy Des.
All right, so I just want to say that we're having a well-spirited show tonight. And we have our giveaway. It is Superman, the House of L, the Book of L, some L, who the L knows. This is the 1 in 25 by Ariel Olivetti. And it could be yours. And if you don't want it, this is the first time Des is like, I'll take it. Des wants this.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just laughing at you guys in the comments. I'm sorry, I didn't realize how heated I got about that last one. So I just want to apologize for that. Because, like, I tell you, we give our opinions, like you said before. Our opinions are just like assholes; they all stink. So read it. Take our opinions with a grain of salt.
But I'm glad if you liked it. That's good. You liked
what
it.
you like what you like, and read what you want to read. I don't want to scare anyone off of like a book. If you really were excited for it, read it and definitely, give your own opinion about it. But yeah, that was just funny.
And then I just want to real quickly speak to something Barlord said. So he says they need to bring readers back big time. And it's funny because a year ago when we were doing this, I was reading more Marvel and not as much DC. And now I'm reading more DC and less Marvel. And we just sent our pull lists out to our savers. And on it is a lot of the Book of Revelations, the 16 titles with an event that's going to span almost 3 months that we know of. And I think that Marvel is making a huge choice for readers, their fans, because when Age of Apocalypse first happened, it shifted. We knew it was going to be this amount. It was, the titles. They did that this time on steroids. And unfortunately, it is, instead of a jumping on point, it's a jumping off point. I've had so many subscribers now not mark any of the books they're
There's
not
a ton.
excited about this, huh?
There's a ton.
Yeah. So last week I was talking with one of our friends, and she wanted my opinion on the X books and what's happening. And she right now reads maybe 5 or 6 of them. And once they end, because all the books are ending to be retitled within this new world, and she's like, I really don't care about any of them, maybe 1 or 2. And I said, so here's the thing about the Age of Apocalypse. The actual Age of Apocalypse by Jeff Loeb and Simon DeMeo, which I have and I'm going to read probably after the show, that we'll be reviewing next week. That, I think, is the book to really read. That is the official Age of Apocalypse with Jeff Loeb writing it, and they're coming to the 616 to meet their counterparts. That right there, I think, is the one to read. So I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to talk about it next week. But yeah, DC, Barlord, I am enjoying a lot more DC at the moment. Even Spider-Man I stopped. I got the first 2-3 issues of this new writer, and I'm like, I don't enjoy it. Hello again, Sophie.
Hey, girl. Meow. So whenever she shakes her head, she has a little bit of a malformed jaw, and so when she shakes her head, it's like one of those slobber dogs, the Saint Bernards. She slobbers all over me. She's my little Saint Bernard, the little Saint Bernard cat. So, all righty, Kyle, what's next, buddy?
Yeah, I have no clue. I got all 3 books ready to go. Okay,
Speaking of Spider-Man.
Okay, Spider-Man 94, writer J.M. DeMatteis. The artist is Jim Toe. Color artist is Jim Campbell. The letterer is VC's Joe Caramagna. And that cover was by Nick Bradshaw and Rachel Rosenberg. And there were a bunch of variants as well for this book.
Oh, so happy to see that yellow sweater on MJ. She held down that yellow sweater, yo. And the jeans.
Barlord says this turned him onto a Spidey as a kid. And I still watch my cartoons. I might be out, but I still managed to watch some cartoons back then.
We're going to binge this as well, because I totally forgot what happened at the end, because I stopped watching it after a while.
I think we might do the same. Okay, I started the last couple. You tell me what you thought of this one.
First and foremost, I had no idea what was going on because I didn't really, again, like I said, I didn't know how the Spider-Man 94 comic ended, so I didn't really know what I was getting into. And I thought they did a pretty interesting job of introducing
Morlun.
Thank you. I want to say Mordor, but I know that's not right. Yes, from that one where all the Spider-Verse folks came in.
Uh-huh.
So they introduced him into the comic book because, again, that was one of the most famous, or one of the more well-known events that happened. Of course, Spider-Verse. And so this just means that we're going to get a Spider-Man 94 version of the Spider-Verse, saga that's been going on. So for that, I was a little bit sad because I was hoping that we would have a little bit more tie-ins to what had prior happened, but it seems like they're going into a new direction with this book. So for that, I'm a little saddened by that, because I don't think Ezekiel, the spider totems and all that, I don't think that was in Spider-Man 94 yet. So it just really feels off to me. It feels like it's just not the original. So I don't know. I was really excited for this book, though, because as a Spider-Man stan, I stan 2 characters, Spider-Man and Superman, double S, let's go. But I just could not, I don't know, for some reason I just could not get into this book. And I thought the art wasn't all that good. There's this one weird face that they drew with Spider-Man, and he looks all like he's constipated, and just, I don't know, just the whole book seemed like it was off for some reason. And I don't know. And I think the reason why is it really read like a cash grab, and cash grabs are going to be what they are, but man, this was like, or like it seemed like it was a nostalgia cash grab for a specific thing. And I'm thinking, if you're going to do this and you're going to pay homage to such a like landmark comic book series or cartoon such as Spider-Man 94, you got to come better than this. Like, I just felt really let down by it. Is the main thing. Like, I was just let down by it. Like, they had a little bit of stuff that kind of get you back to, get you kind of caught up, but then it completely went off the rails into something completely different. Introducing stuff that's happened recently instead of really being in the 90s. And I think that's what separates this from X-Men 94 is because X-Men 94 knew where it was. It knew what it was doing. This one,
97.
So 97, still in the 90s. It where that felt like it got everything right. This one did not, and I just was not happy. Oh yeah, that face is horrible.
I have to say the facial expressions on this book. Whoop, where'd it go?
Like that, no, that's not the right one. Like this, there was a one for Spider-Man.
Yeah, I gotta find.
And I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah, sadly, the facial expressions in this book are really bad. Just really bad.
Yeah, and that cover, is like, the cover is fantastic. And like, even if they'd have went a more cartoony, I would have been fantastic. That's the face. No. Bottom right. That one right in the middle, on the page in your left hand. That face right there was just, I don't get it. Like, I guess they're trying to be they're trying to be like smitten with each other because they're trying to get married. I don't know.
This book desperately needed a recap page. So far in the story, or what came before, it needed something to bring the readers up to speed. I mean, he did a great job explaining, they were married, that wasn't her, and he's having trouble, because he feels he's still married, but they're not.
Yeah, that part was fine. Like, that part was fine.
Her aunt is still a word you can't say. I don't know. I was excited for this, but the art just visually, how did that make it past anyone? Those faces, like
you got to get it out.
I know. I don't know. Okay, let's move on to something that I actually enjoyed with a great artist. Next book up is, yes, Barlord, you might not have been alive for this. Here's what you missed. That's what they needed.
Wow. That is just, when I read that, my back started to hurt. I was like, oh.
All right, so I did not read any of the Immortal Thor at all. And the reason why I was interested in this book is because of the artist.
Yes.
So No Gods, No Masters is the first chapter. Al Ewing did the writing. Pascal Ferry does the art. Oh my God. I love his art. Matt Hollingsworth did the coloring for the art. And VC's Joe Sabino did the lettering. And Alex Ross did that cover. I mean, you just look at the cover, it's him. Gorgeous cover. Thor is no longer Thor. Thor is Sigurd Jarlston. What is his name? Something like that.
Yeah, you got it. He's like Norwegian or something. They even ask him where he's from.
Sigurd. And he has a little hammer. A tiny little hammer.
And amnesia.
And amnesia. Yes.
Yes, it was the start of any great JRPG.
JRPG?
Well, that's just so a Japanese role-playing game, it's one of the tropes is the protagonist or the hero always is an amnesiac. So I thought Al Ewing I thought that was kind of funny that Al Ewing would do that.
Unfortunately, Loki's not far behind.
Where was Loki in it?
Loki was the
I know.
street
I'm
urchin.
just messing with you. Yeah.
Oh, I'm like
that was the least convincing like Loki costume I've ever seen.
So for me, this new Thor, not knowing who he is, still has some principles, and he still kind of knows the difference between right and wrong. And deep inside of him somewhere, Thor is ready to get let out. And I hope it doesn't go maybe one arc. I think I could take one arc of him not knowing who it is, but I don't want 19 issues of this. But the art was the draw for this, guys. The art was so beautiful. I missed Pascal Ferry. I miss his line work. I thought the colorist did amazing. You know, the fight at the end gets quite gruesome. And I thought, Marvel's really going there. Like, kind of crazy that in the immortal legend Batman, we saw the dead body and you kind of saw some red for guts, but holy moly, face smashes. Like, they don't hide anything here. People get effed up, and it's great. It is great. And the weird lightning, is that him? You remember when I think it was Storm lost her powers, and Chris Claremont would throw in some panels, you know, she'd feel away and like lightning would happen, and that was your hint that maybe her powers are coming back. And I'm wondering if that is what Ewing did in this, letting the readers know subtly that his emotions are still controlling his powers.
Yes, and I 100% agree with you. That's what's going on. At the end of the book, I don't have the book sitting with me, unfortunately. At the end of the book, they said the thunder gods were here to teach them. I remember that, and I think that and please, like, I don't know what's coming. I don't read the solicits, so I don't know. And I know that Storm right now is fighting, like in Storm right now, they created a pantheon of thunder gods, and now that Thor is gone, Beta Ray Bill is a part of it. I honestly believe that Marvel is hopefully, maybe, I don't know, might be building to an event with like these lightning gods or something. I really hope that it's not an event and it's just something that is shared between Thor and Storm, because we have her, you know, doing stuff with the storm gods. He's not a storm god. It seems like this might be a backdoor, quote unquote, you know, pilot for a crossover event between those two books, or what's going on with the actual larger a pantheon of storm gods. And if it is, I really hope that is the case, because that seems interesting to me. That seems like, wow, that's really cool. It's almost like what they did during Chaos War, when it started really small. I think it was Van Lint did that, and it was when Hulk was gone and Hercules, you know, took over the book, and him and Amadeus Cho were running around, and then it led into something bigger. I thought that whole thing was fantastic, and I really hope that they're trying to do something similar with this.
So I'm gonna have to say, great idea. Like, this is why sometimes fans have better ideas, because the rumor is Storm is going to die, and so her book is ending because she's going to be Rogue Storm or something in the New Age Revelations.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that wouldn't work. Marvel already has the mutants taken off the board, kind of, in their own warped reality. So sad that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
And with what happened in the new Cap run and all these books ending, I wonder if the larger Marvel universe is slowly getting a soft reboot. Maybe. I think they could use it. I also think that yeah. I don't want to get into that right now.
But
yes,
I like the story. I like the story. I think you were correct. This story is one of the, and what's terrible, I really hate this, is or maybe it's a good thing, but this being a number one and me starting where I started sort of made me want to go back and read those issues of the Immortal Thor to see why he got here, because I'm intrigued with this new Thor, and I want to see what's happening. And it's starting off really small, so which makes me believe that it's going to grow into something bigger.
Yeah. So I just want to touch on one book that I enjoyed. I enjoyed this book. So it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder. And it is from IDW. And I got a different cover. I can't even read, the writing is so small. But
I like the cover, though.
What one? That main cover?
Mm-hmm. That's the one I got.
So the writer is Dan Waters. Artist is Michelle Bandini. Colorist is Marco Lesko. The letterer and designer was Darren Robinson. And they don't even tell you who did the main cover. And this, wow.
Might have been the artist.
Maybe. I enjoyed this book. This is going to sound weird. The art style of this book, I don't think would lend itself well to a giant rat or turtles or a giant rhinoceros or a giant boar. And I enjoyed that about it. They took the fantasy feeling and the playfulness of the turtles completely out of the story. It was a well done Shredder story, but this is where it could have been any book. So part of me really enjoyed this book because it's Shredder and he's back from the dead. I have no clue how he died or what has been going on, but the way it was presented and the way he fights and gets into the Foot's clan and then is taken down. Oh, what's up?
Well, if you're, which was maybe the single most upsetting event in terms of just really you couldn't write something better than this that's ever happened in TMNT. Like it was, as a TMNT nerd, it was awful. This book was like when you get in the shower after a long day and you feel like a whole other person.
Yeah.
For the Turtles universe. So knowing
and that's why
how he got all this stuff probably made you like it better than if you had been disappointed for leading up to it.
Interesting, because that's kind of the point I was getting at. I really enjoyed the story, but it could have been any character. It could have been a brand new character. I really enjoyed the art, and I thought the story was good. I don't see how the turtle, like a creature element, would fit. What did you think of it?
Well, the same thing. I think I do believe that there is a thing where you're writing a character, but unfortunately it's not distinct enough, to really lend itself to any character. And maybe that's where you're kind of getting it. I did like the art though.
No, the art was great. The artist was great. But I wanted to talk about it because I enjoyed the book, but it wasn't specific enough to be Shredder. But I really enjoyed it. And now what Kyle said, that makes a ton of sense. So yeah.
Okay, Hydra Asylum Comics says, y'all can answer later, but is there a series you've been interested in but haven't started yet? Topic for our live this weekend is books we want to read but haven't. Okay, so what we will do is we will give our answers to this question on our next episode. That way you guys can tune in and we can answer this question that was posed by Hydra Asylum Comics.
Way to go, mining other shows for content, Jay.
Hey,
you're AI now.
Hey, but you noticed I had to give it away for free. You gotta tune in next week to get it. See what he was doing. But
all right, we got a giveaway. So get your hashtags in. Hashtag Geek Chat. Let's give away this cover.
All right, everybody. Oh, Canadian survival list. Let's see when you last won. You are actually eligible. That is awesome.
Congrats, Canadian survivalist. You are getting this awesome Ariel Olivetti 1 in 25. Congratulations.
Of Adventures of Superman, House of L. See, I can say it.
Yes. What the L?
But yes, so I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in and hanging out, and kicking it with us. We really do appreciate it. Tell your friends, tell your families, make your
Like,
grandparents
share,
watch the show.
subscribe.
Yes. Giveaway winner, Canadian Survivalist, please sign in with what Kyle has posted. And please check out all the other fantastic shows that are on the experience. Yes, Kyle.
Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, we're interviewing Jason Fabak to talk about Rook Exodus #7 from Ghost Machine.
Oh.
Yeah. So everyone, check it out. Also, tune in next week when we will have more comics to talk about, more stuff to give away, and we'll answer the question that was raised to us, which was,
what books are you interested in reading?
Well, yeah, you wanted to read but haven't read yet. There's a bunch. You see this wall back here? There you go. And a lot of those are collected editions. So stay tuned to hear what we have to say. But that's it for us. Stay tuned for Mog and Mel. They're after us. And you all have a fantastic and great rest of the week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.